Have you ever seen the 1983 movie Hercules with Lou Ferrigno? Yeah, that's right, the guy who played the Hulk back in the 1970s TV show. This movie is totally wild. It's a low-budget fantasy-adventure flick directed by Luigi Cozzi, who sometimes goes by Lewis Coates, and was made by Cannon Films, which pretty much specialized in cheesy action and fantasy movies in the 80s. So, the plot is basically a loose, campy take on Greek mythology. And I do mean loose. Hercules gets created by Zeus out of a beam of divine light, seriously, because the world is tipping into chaos or whatever. He's got super strength, as you'd expect, and his big mission is to save Princess Cassiopeia, who gets kidnapped by the evil King Minos, played by William Berger, who's basically a mad scientist in this version. There's all this stuff about Minos trying to take over the world using a mix of science and magic, and the whole story just gets crazier from there. Along his journey, Hercules runs into all kinds of weird stuff: robot monsters, giant snakes, sci-fi style beasts, and gets help from the sorceress, Circe, Mirella D'Angelo. He's also got to deal with baddies like Ariadne, Sybil Danning, and the evil goddess Hera. The plot sort of riffs on the 12 Labours, with a few familiar monsters and quests, but don't expect any kind of accuracy. There's even space travel and cosmic gods hanging out on the moon. It's all totally bonkers. This was directed by Luigi Cozzi, who's best known for things like Star Crash. Cannon Films, led by Menahem Golan and Yoram Globus, pumped out this and other crazy movies with whatever cash they could scrape together. The whole thing was shot in Italy for around $6 million. Expect lots of old-school effects, matte paintings, stop-motion monsters, and plenty of over-the-top costumes. Cozzi's team really leaned into the campy, colourful, is this for real vibe. Critics kinda hated it. They tore it apart for being cheap, badly written, and totally bonkers with the mythology. The acting's wooden, especially with all the dubbing, and the effects are laughably dated. But here's the thing, it's got a cult following. Fans love it because it's so ridiculous. Ferrigno looks amazing, and how could you not love a movie where Hercules literally throws a bear into space to create a constellation? People celebrate it as a so bad it's good classic. The film actually did pretty well at the box office too. Thanks to the popularity of Conan the Barbarian and Ferrigno's star power, Hercules made enough money to get a sequel, The Adventures of Hercules, in 1985. Culturally, it's a classic example of 1980s Italian exploitation movies, just tossing together whatever genres might sell. It's on tons of lists for movies that are fun to watch because they're over the top, and it inspired a bunch of fantasy B-movies after. Here are a few memorable bits. The opening, Zeus creates Hercules from light. It's so weird, you have to see it. Monster battles. We're talking rubbery robot creatures, big snakes, the whole package. Sci-fi stuff. The gods are on the moon. Hercules zooms through space. Ferrigno really gets to show off. Think lifting boulders, busting out of chains, the works. You can find Hercules streaming in a bunch of places, and it pops up in budget DVD collections all the time. Fans love sharing cheesy clips online, especially that infamous bear throwing scene. It's also a favourite for riffing parties, a la Mystery Science Theatre 3000. The more friends, the better. Hercules is part of that 80s wave of sword and sandal flicks after Clash of the Titans and Conan. Casting Ferrigno was a smart move. Everyone knew him as the Hulk, even if his acting wasn't quite there. The sequel mostly reused footage, and it never had the same impact. Want to dive into more crazy 80s movie nostalgia? Subscribe to Movies of the 80s. You won't regret it.